President Rodrigo, let me turn to you. You have a connection to the Ukraine. You work there in your World Bank days. You also are to the fore amongst your Latin American peers in having addressed the war and its legality. You're also, along with the United States, co-chairing and co-hosting the Summit of Democracies. You're in a privileged vantage point from your point of view in the Western Hemisphere in really giving us a perspective on how you see this drama unfolding and its implications for the democratic project worldwide.
Well, I come from a very different country. We were the first country in the world, I believe, to abolish its own military.
Yes.
We made it forbidden by constitution. And we adopted the rule of law. We adopted democracy long time ago. As a matter of fact, in the 200 years since we got independence, we have had tiny little periods where democracy was, say, interrupted. 6 weeks in 1948 with revolution, a period in the 1850s that had a very small dictatorship. Personally, I do have that connection because I work in Ukraine. I live on Krishchatik Street, right there in front of the market. I saw the struggles in the early 2000s of the Ukrainians trying to rebuild their economy when it was melting during the crisis. And in that sense, and having worked in the former Soviet Union, when I became president, I used the words that the foreign minister of Sweden just used: the criminal, illegal attack of Russia to Ukraine. And I was taken to court in my own country, being the president, because I was violating Costa Ricans' neutrality. The court said, no, the president can't say what the Costa Rican people think and what he thinks. We are not sending an army because we don't have one. That's, you know, democracy has its quirks too. It was the right of the person who, or of the people who took me to court. And at the same time, we had a cyber attack associated to Russia. So you see, the president speaking is causing all these things. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as Churchill said, is the best, democracy is the worst form of government except all others. That's the one we have. Is the least imperfect, but it requires courage. It requires saying what we believe. It requires taking a stance. It's true that a government subject to the political marketplace is less likely to take violent action against others. There are negative externalities to the world of not having democracies around. Case in point, Ukraine. So it's in our common interest that that democracy is enjoyed by all men and women in the world. And I think that we have our challenges even in Latin America, whereby the challenge is not electing democratically a government. The challenge is that democracy to be sustained has to be profitable to the people. The quality of services, dealing with the crises that we see of immigration. Look at my poor country, 5.2 million. We have the largest number of requests for asylum, in the third largest in the world, in absolute terms. After Canada, after United States, Canada, we follow. We have more than 20% of our people are economic immigrants or political refugees. So I think democracy will continue. In my imagination, I cannot imagine a better way of electing governments, but we also need to be more courageous, be more accountable, and be able to deliver what most people want: share prosperity, peace, and a better future for our children. And in that is where democracies are struggling today to achieve that, and certainly it would be in our interest that most countries in the world are democratic.